What's going on, everybody? Back for another live stream. Today, we are using Pick the Odds. Pick the Odds is the fastest plus EV and arbitrage tool on the market. So we're going to be finding a bunch of plus EV plays, whether it be pregame or live. Coming up, we have a small MLB slate, some CFL as well. Of course, always live tennis. But as you can see, Tigers, Athletics has first pitched already. Guardians, Blue Jays as well, both in the second. Twins, Mariners delayed, but we have a couple of games coming up in the next 30 or so minutes. So give me 1 second to properly get out a quick promo. And we're going to start off by going through my Pick the Odds build. We're going to go through these three MLB games that have not yet first pitched that are starting soon, because I do have plays I found with Pick the Odds earlier that I would love to, of course, hopefully get you guys in on some value for. We'll find some other plus EV and ARB opportunities as well. And then from there, hopefully we have a bunch of cash tickets. So shout out to everybody for joining. Let me know in the comments. We have any games you want me to go over, any thought processes you want me to see, any markets you want to see, any features of Pick the Odds you want to dive into, all of that and more right here. So 1 more second for a quick promo, and we're going to get started. Tigers just got on the board, as you can see there. That is never fun for any Athletics backer. Athletics won money line last night. That was a good one. That's something I was actually fortunately on from the stream yesterday. Overall, for me, that was like a minus 0.5 unit. We're calling everything, risking to win 1U. If it's negative odds, for continuity's sake, and if it's plus odds, we're risking 1U on that. So from yesterday's stream, unfortunate 2 and 3, but with plus money, 0.5 stinker, which is not the end of the world. And today we're using Pick the Odds, of course. Promo is out in 1 second, and we're ready to get started and dive into it. So I want to go over, so I have not changed my EV calc. So for those of you who are new here, Pick the Odds is such a fascinating tool because you have customization over every single bit of the positive expected value calculation you want to be involved with. So I'll show you exactly what that means in real time right here. And if you're not new to the stream, I still hope that you can, stick with me for 2 seconds, because everybody who's new should definitely look at this. And the last thing, you can do all of what I'm doing for absolutely free. So right now, if you want to follow along with me or find 2% plus EV and 2% ARBs for 100% free, just go to picktheodds.app, create an account, and you can follow along with me, as well as start building your own EV and ARB calcs to when you have enough, bankroll saved up where you can literally just pay for the tool and make a lot of money with it. So first things first, filters. I did a little bit of a formula change here because I had FanDuel for the overall distribution at 1. I put it down to 0.75, and honestly might even lower that to 0.5 just to see, because on certain markets I'm not as in love with FanDuel, but in others I do. I do see a lot of value in it. No Big and Profit X, I have them both listed, as well as Sport Trade Colorado and New Jersey for my distribution. Circa at the biggest weight, Penny at there at 13%, so second biggest, and BOL there. Bookmaker is 17% as well. And you can change all these, whatever books you want to add. If you guys have any books you want to see for, my learning purposes for the best overall distributions for my EV calcs, please let me know. But this is what I'm rocking with now. And results have been good. I'm going to start tracking a little bit more in detail. Now there's a bet tracker on PTO, but it's still in beta. But once that goes live, again, just adding another amazing functionality to a tool full of it. For everybody, amount to win, $50. So in this case, it would be like a plus money bet would be to win 50. For continuity, I like to, switch between these two. But with that being said, we'll just call it to win 1 unit, everything amount to win. We'll call it $50 1 unit, makes everything easy. And again, I'm going to be pulling up legitimate live plays, and we're going to be getting in on them together. So just hold me through for 1 second. 2 sports books minimum I have going. I'm sorting it by EV pitch, can sort by ROI. Worst case for my divigging formulas, because I could weigh it, I could best it, but I'm going with worst. Worst is essentially giving you the worst calculation. So ideally, you're closest to true odds because it is the worst calculation. If that makes sense. But of course, you can. I can change additive, multiplicative, power, turn them all off, but I'm going with worst here. bet types. So I have specific filters for money line and spread. These are essentially the same exact thing, but these sports books that I have are Sport Trade, Bookmaker, Circa, and Pinnacle for money line and for game lines. I should probably do that for totals. So I'll do that with you right now because there's really not much of a difference here. This is a game line as well. So I'm glad to show you in live what this does right there out of 1. So then you see bookmakers added, Circa, Bookmaker, Penny. I'll do a 0.5 for BOL. Do a 0.25 for FanDuel. I feel like pre-game, like they get a little bit sharp pretty early on. They're efficient, but pre-game they sharpen up a little bit. We'll add some Novig in there. We'll add some Profit X in there. Let's keep on rolling. Score, low vig, points bet, Betway. If anybody has any comments for me on things you think I should be adding for my weights, please let me know. I know people don't love sharing edges. It's everything's kind of true to yourself. Put a little Bet Openly in there. Shout out to Bet Openly. Sport Trade CO, we'll add some of that in here as well. Getting these exchanges in, they're always going to have better numbers. So I'm just very curious. It's definitely going to help boost up the EV calcs, if I'm not mistaken. A little AZ in there as well. I'll keep Iowa and Virginia out of there. But I think this is a good starting point, right? Like, of course, this is all customizable. Maybe I just created the worst EV calculation ever. But that's the best thing about Pick the Odds is I can always go back and make these changes if I think that they're not great. So totals there. Player props, I have filtered very differently. I have some Sport Trade, big on FanDuel, Penny, but not as much, some BOL, some Circa. Maybe I'll add a little bit of Profit and Novig here. I'll do 0.2 on those. So we are going to get a little bit more granular. So again, this is all under my test filter. It still is certainly a test, though I feel a lot more confident in it after a couple of good positive EV betting sessions. And I promise you we'll get right to the plays in just 2 seconds. But ROI, I haven't been into the 0.75. If you guys are using the free version, you'll see up to 2%. But I can bump that number up if I'd like. Odds, I'm not really discriminating against different odds. Max results, that can show me 100 at a time. And then minimum liquidity for these exchanges. If we're betting to win $50, we need at least $50 liquidity. So that makes it easy. They also added blocks and excludes. Alerts have always been there, but blocks I think are new. I have not played around with this yet, but I'll play around with it off stream. And when we stream Sunday, we'll talk about it. And then how you want to see your odds, I'm good with good old-fashioned American. So now that that is set, this again is my test filter. PTO has a default filter. As you can see, this is where they have every single one of their sports books that are available on their site, which is 100 plus. So if you have access to those many books, absolutely play around with the default. But my test is for the most widely available U.S. books, because if you're watching from a different country, feel free to let me know and I'll do my best for you there. Did I mess something up here? Because this is something I've noticed. Sports books. What did I click on something? Because I don't want to see books that I'm gonna have to edit it here. Yeah, I have to edit it here. So that's the other good thing about Pick the Odds is like everything is so customizable down to the last detail. So like the advanced filter is the same thing as the regular filter, except you're filtering within a filter. And yes, that sounds like a lot, but it's one of those things where of course edges change. But once you kind of find your rhythm and what works for you, that's when you start to find the plays you want. So now I don't know why Bally is showing up. I'm guessing because it's a total, and I made a mistake somewhere on my own calcs, but that's not going to slow us down here. All right, so before we get into some live EV and ARB, I want to just talk about some of the stuff I played already. And this showing up here is not what I want to see. So I'll play around with that because Sportsbooks 11, I have again trying to do the most publicly available in my state. And then once I put on this totals, this is when things started getting wonky. So maybe I'll play around with that quickly for one more second here because I don't want to see Sportsbooks. Yeah, this has all 95 check. That makes sense. So perfect. I'll show and this is of course not the weighting. The weighting is ready. We already put that together. This is literally the books that you'll see EV from. So we'll keep it to, again, the most widely available in the US. If you have other books, I'll gladly add them for your own viewership's sake. Get Fanatics in there, Hard Rock. That's good. All right, that's exactly what I was looking for. And now we're going to see when the EV calcs, when we go back to the EV screen. We're only going to be seeing the books that we just selected there. So we can only focus in on what we can bet on. Before we look at this, we're going to go back to the odds screen, real-time odds, updating quicker than ESPN or even like the real app. So the Tigers took the lead, 1-0 there. This game starts in 29 minutes. I have a play here. So if you guys, if the price is still available, I would love for you guys to hop on in and tail this with me. This was found from Pick the Odds earlier. Let's go into Phillies Astros. So I bet the first 5 team total over 3.5. So let's see if we're looking at good value from the time I bet it. And this is another great thing about PTO is they show every single alternate line, even if it's not widely available. But if only just one book, like just B365, has minus 3,000 on over one run, yeah, you're not going to be doing a lot of shopping there. But the fact that they have it there is great. So looks like I made a decent bet here. I got this at plus 114 at DraftKings, so it's definitely not bettable unless you have, even at forecasters, like it's only 0.74% at even money. So I'll be sweating this first 5 over. Hunter Brown is going for the Astros. There's always a little scary sight, and these teams have been playing some dead under games, but this is my first play of the day, so we'll come back to that game when it goes live. And then I do have something in Mariners Twins that has been delayed this game, so maybe we can get in on that as well. We'll look at again, first 5. I'm on the first 5 in this one on the over 5 runs. So 5 is a push. It's at plus 106 at Penny now. I want to see the line history here because I don't know if the rain delay has actually moved these numbers. So this was sitting. We don't have Penny up here. We can get Penny up here by filtering right there. Oh, there's Penny. There it is. We want the over. And I just want to see if Penny had moved it because of the rain delay. And it looks like they had. They moved it from plus 105 to plus 106, which of course adds up over time. But once this rain delay started to hit officially is when Penny moved. But if you look at just the Penny number there, you see it got as high as minus 108. Now back to plus 106. So definitely some buyback in the market. So a great way to visualize the sports books you want. You have total control over what you see up here. Of course, looking at the over because I have the over, but let's see. I'll keep myself updated on when this game is set to actually pitch in Minnesota because we're in a rain delay in the Twin Cities. So it's got Underdog going on my laptop just to see if we get any update on when that first pitch will be. Just says delayed due to rain, so time to tell. Let's get into some live game action. Let's do it. So let's look at some plus EV for the day. So again, these are my filters. I showed you what I got. So if you like what you saw, let's keep riding. If you, don't think I have some good things going on, please let me know and I will adjust. All right. So we're seeing some value live here. This indicates that we're live. This is live tennis. Things are going to move quickly. So I'm going to pause. But the best thing about PTO, which maybe I can show you if we see it, but once this red icon goes gray, that's when there's like a stoppage in play. And when it's red is when it's like, literally live. So of course, speed is paramount there. Let me pause so we can go through some things quickly. World Cup seeing some value. I know it's only weighted to FanDuel, so I probably wouldn't bet anything like that. Total games, the live tennis. B365 users, so minus 1.5 or under 1.5 runs in the first 5 in Rockies, Dodgers, of course, playing in Coors Field. Rockies couldn't hit crap yesterday. Dodgers, of course, are always ready to go nuclear at any time. But I want to see what the rest of the market shows, which you can see here. Bet Rivers, 1.6% on minus 135. Okay, here it's showing up here. Average price for the under is minus 172, and B365 is hanging at minus 140. So if I had access to B365, I'm in New York, so they're not operating here. I would absolutely bet this. So if you're a B365 user and you, again, like my calcs, you see the market average minus 73, B365. Look at how this moved throughout the day. This is the over. Let's go to the under. We can see how it moved, and this is based on this is FanDuel. They obviously got nuked from 230 down to 176, so maybe there was some money on the over, but let's see who had the number. It was Bookmaker. They stayed pretty consistent at the 170. They're of course a sharper book. So this Nerfy 2 runs, because we're in core, is getting a little bit of a course bump. It's a good bet, but this one's catching my eye too on Bet Rivers. Under 5.5 runs in the first 5. Palente Imanaga, market average -158. Rivers best price there. Good liquidity on this first 5 from Pinnacle. Market average just moved to 59. Profit X only 224 of liquidity, which is normal for a Nerfy. I had Novig up here. Maybe they just don't have this market going, but I definitely had Novig. Sport Trade New Jersey, 584 at -163. So again, this is like a worthwhile look if you have Rivers. Rivers is operational in New York, but unfortunately they nuked my account. What else is new? And if these things are gone by the time you get there, and again, I'll just show you some of the functionality. Like, so here, second inning for the Mets game, under 0.5 runs, weighted to FanDuel. I'm curious to see how many books have this market up a good amount. Market average 146. But if I click this link right here, brings you right to BetMGM, or of course the sportsbook that they have offering that bet, the bet licking feature. And as you can see right there, I bet this Aces first half as well. That was -220, so that's some good CLV. But boom, -130 it shows here. Back to PTO, you see the -130, and that's how easy it is to get in on these live bets. This is 3.1%, so if you're using free, you would not see it even copying my calcs, because it is the free version caps you at 2% EV. But I mean, come on, like it's just not speaking for itself already. Let's keep riding. I think so. Now that this is a total hits prop, only 0.8%, 2.2 on the first 5 under. I think this is some Korean baseball, always fun. 4.3%, only to Bookmaker, some FIFA World Cup. I don't feel confident personally in my World Cup calcs. I don't know who the sharpest books are. I'd assume it'd be the usual suspects, but can't say that with certainty. First half over, Fever Sparks, even money, 0.9%. -103. I'm seeing some weights with just 1. So I'm going to go back to my filters just to make sure, and press the play button. These things are going to be moving all over the place. This pops up first. But going back to my filters here, because again, I'm not going to say it's confusing per se. Of course, there's a lot to learn, but PTO has amazing, literally there's learn buttons all over the place. I'll literally show you. Click learn. Boom, 2-minute video exactly describing the whole thing. So they have you covered with every base there. But I want to make sure, because totals was new to me here, because you can again set your filters for everything. So yep, this is the answer here. So minimum liquidity 50, minimum ROI 0.75%. I don't really matter about. Don't matter. I don't care about the odds. I'll lay something if I need to. This shows you all the different kinds of total props that are available here as well. Showed you that you have an advanced filter there. Sportsbooks, we did this earlier. We got them all. EV controls. That's where we're good, and that's what we're seeing. So I wouldn't say it's you have to go in and make sure you specify for everything, but that's the thing, right? If you know that you want to bet Kelly just for player props and you want to flat bet spreads and totals, you can literally filter it to do exactly that. That minimum with 2, that's why we're seeing a bunch of 1s. Sort by ROI is fine. I'll do EV dollars. Okay, so now that the totals is set, I think we're going to see more. But again, look at the customization you can get to for literally everything. All the money line, spread, and player prop that I've done in the past on stream, those are more accurately reflected in what I wanted. But as you saw right there, you make a change, you notice something that you didn't want to see, and you click a couple buttons, and boom, your EV calcs are as good as they can get. So now let's see what we got going on here. Yep. Weight of 2. I want the 2s there because I feel better when I'm deviating from 2. This is live, Michael Bush, 6.8%. So probably have to be quick, but I want to show you how quickly you can get there. Click on PointsBet. They're no longer in New York. Some books, they don't pop up right away, but that's more of I think a book problem than that. But if we go player props, batters, by market, total bases, a couple extra clicks there. Who are we looking at? We're looking at Michael Bush under 1.5. Where you go? There he goes, -160. That is a 6.8% play live according to Penny, Sport Trade, as well as my EV Calcs, and that one doesn't even start until 2:15. That's not even live. Green means he's starting, which is a huge, massive thing to have because certain books will not void your bet if they don't start, like FanDuel, for example. If they are pinch hitting at some point or they do pinch hit, your wager is still live. But that is worthwhile playing. 6.8% based on my calcs. Market average is minus 207. Actually, if you have a parlay account, that's minus 130. That is absolutely worth betting. But if you have just a PB, that's a great bet, according to my EV calcs. We got some live. We got a runner on second here for the Guardians. Okay. Trying to make some money moves. Total live under 7.5. I kind of like this. It's minus 148, only 0.8% though. We see this is still hanging out there. This is still here. 3.4. What do we got? Team total for the Blue Jays. Okay. That's showing good value at ESPN. Top three. Let's see if that's still there. ESPN is one of the books that sometimes has a problem adding to the bet slip. That's not, again, a PTO thing. That's just an integration thing. Yeah. ESPN is always slow to load for me. Yeah. Because, again, this is literally happening live. Like this indicator on PTO that I was showing you literally shows you that this is like in play, a bet no longer available. That's obviously going to happen. But if that was grayed out, that means that it's in between innings and maybe that would be available for longer. But now we got the Guardians the Blue Jays that bat with bases loaded. No wonder that is gone already because that was just first and second, if you guys saw. And that's how quickly this updates. So that's absolutely amazing. I'm looking at ESPN on my other computer. It just told me bases loaded, literally as I turned my head. Where PTO had bases loaded for 10 seconds already? And 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. We'll get back to that. We're going to find some EV, but let's go to some ARBs. Let's see if we can get a risk-free ARB going. 6.1% live though, so you got to be quick. But if you click this 2x here, it brings up both screens ready for you to bet on. I have the way that my streaming is set up is that it's only my window, not my entire desktop, so I wouldn't show you. But this is a pregame live ARB. I'm going to pause just for explaining sake, and we're not going to be betting live, but where did it go? Where did it go? Right here. If you have B365 and DraftKings, you can bet $251 on the over 18.5 hits on B365 and on the under at minus 135, $299.49 for a guaranteed 21.33. Click this button. I'll go to share the tabs instead just to show you how they're still available in there. DK, come on, load up for me, buddy. 18.5 minus 35. You would bet the amount that PTO told you. I'm going to go to B365 that also was pulled up. They're one that is sometimes annoying with that. So let's find the total hits line. 18.5. It was plus 160. I don't have an account, but there you go. If you would have. Can you guys hear me? Just out of curiosity. Little mic tap because I got a little notification from StreamYard because I'm not trying to have audio here. Long story short, that's the ARB. So hopefully you guys can hear me, and hopefully you guys got in right there for a free $22. I'm going to reshare my desktop. Give me 1 second in the settings just so I can see if everything is working quick. Hello. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry about that, but hopefully in the interim, while you watch me click through some screens, you guys just made a free $20. And of course, you can make a lot more. You can enter your wager amount here if you have more bankroll and make yourself a free $106.38. If you got $2,500 laying around, which if you're gambling, excuse me, not sharing my screen. But as you see there, I edited this number to 1,000. If you're going to have 2,500 laying around, it's a free 106.38. You saw it. You click this button on PTO, and boom. So I hope you guys are getting in on that and making yourself a $300. I'm paused, so these aren't going to move. Okay, that's the best ARB out there. That's pregame. This is live, but probably they're paused. You can see, but that is again how quickly you guys can do that. And I hope you got in. They also have tools here where you can do if you already have a play pregame and it's not showing up as an ARB, but you have an ARB op. You can calculate that really quickly on the tools section. Arbitrage calculator shows you your staking amount. Put in the odds, minus 120, plus 150. Let's just, for assumption's sake, that's if you have $100 staking amount, you can make free $5 and a free 5.8% ROI, and who knows how quickly. Let's go back to the odds screen here. Let's see. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of offense in the majors right now. Oh, Tigers threatening Jeffrey Springs. 45 pitches there. Let's pull this up out of curiosity. This is something I have no action on, but I'm always curious. Let's see how this inning has transpired. So a leadoff walk. A leadoff fly out to right. A single from Parker Meadows. A walk for Glaber, and now we have Jemai Jones up 0-0 count. Two guys. Oh, this just went to 3-0. So I'm assuming he just put something into the gap if 2 runs just scored. And that's how crazy it is. Like, I literally look it to the right. This is always a little bit slower than this. This is your pre-calc. This is where you really want to be focusing if you're looking. Obviously, this is like more of a fun thing to look at, but because you can, again, look at the exact pitch mix, the exact at-bat, everything down to the last detail. This is a little bit slower, but it doesn't matter because this is as fast as it gets. And there's going to be definitely opportunities. So I, again, have nothing here, nor did I have like a pre-game like read where I want to get in on something live. So I'll run through some totals in case you guys do. Like, ESPN bet's lagging on me over there. Get out of there, ESPN bet. Yeah, see, like Fanatics only place in market with over 4.5 to score 2 more runs for the entire game. This is a whole game total. I mean, I know obviously that's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but you absolutely can lay that. See, that already moved just like that. A 1 count. But let's go to some other games. We could talk about them more holistically because it's a very small slate. Yeah, Mets Braves tonight, Marlins Giants. Weather in New York is not as hot as it's been the last couple of days. So maybe the balls aren't going to be flying as much. Marlins Giants is at 345. I actually didn't catch who's pitching, so let's take a dive here. Player props. We'll go to strikeouts. We have Junk going and Hayden Birdsong. Not a matchup where I feel strongly. Toronto just scored 2. Let's see how they did that. Let's see. We had a Jonathan Class single, a Taylor Heineman hit by pitch, Miles Straw sack bunt, Bo Bichette's but a fielding error. So a little bit of small ball playing into their hands. Bichette K, a Nathan Luke single, and then we got Vladdy up runners on the corners. Imagine we got in on that ESPN bet. That would have been sick. Again, if you didn't have me spewing in your ear the whole time and you were just using the tool yourself, you probably could have gotten in. That speed discrepancy was definitely about me pausing and speaking rather than like PTO. Definitely could have got in. Of course, it's not over and locked and loaded yet, but looking like a good EV spot. So now that is happening, let's go back to the EV screen and see what we got. Always going to my tests because these are my EV calcs, right? I'll live and die by them and I'll adjust them as need be. Under 2.5, they're not expecting runs. This Michael Bush went to 170, so that 160 we saw if you guys got it on points, but if you have, it's down to 150 now. Okay, even more value. That was 6%. Now it's 8.5%. I still would not honestly be scared off by that. I would still bet that. We can pull up the chart here and see how that's been moving for the under total bases. Novig opened at 222, got all the way down to 179. Definitely a little up and down from Novig, but it's stabilized more at the minus 211. So somebody who, of course, and we can see liquidity there. I would love to. $600. I was expecting a little bit less, to be honest. Not because Novig. Novig is absolutely amazing. If you don't have Novig yet, or Profit X, or Bet Openly, or Forecasters, you're honestly missing out on value. Or Sport Trade for that matter. But this is still a good look at minus 170. But why bet a minus 170 when there was a minus 150 out there? Again, if you didn't get in then, I definitely recommend getting in now because the value only went up there and we saw the fair odds. Some CFL. I'm going to pause. So things are moving. I'm sorry, but again, we're talking through the tool more. Of course, we are watching it live and seeing how it operates, which is amazing. But a little bit of talking through the tool. Profit X showing value here with some good liquidity on the under in this WNBA game, 1.5% situation. Not even up on FanDuel or some other books, 10 p.m. It's so annoying. I mean, listen, FanDuel, I get that there's all the outrage, all the fake news that was spreading around this past couple of days on the internet, on Twitter, about FanDuel, their TNCs, if they're new, what they're there to prevent and what they're not there to prevent. But that conversation, I hope you guys educated yourselves if you felt one type of way about it or knew the whole time what was going on. But my beef with FanDuel right now is, I guess Circa doesn't have it either, and or bookmakers, so it can't be too mad. But like, how do you not have the WNBA total listed right now? I know the game's in 8 hours, but come on. Come on. Oh, first half over here, Sparks Fever, 0.9%. CFL again. Oh, I actually did bet CFL. What did I take today? Using Pick the Odds, of course. I can't speak entirely for my EV calcs on Canadian football, but I bet the Elks first half team total over 9.5 at -105. Seeing some +6.5 showing some value was nice here. We'll go and check that in a second. Oh, some Elijah Boston assists, 4.6% at DK and MGM. This is worth it. I'm betting this right now. Click that. As you can see, we'll get that team total out of here. 5+ assists, +125 at DK or at MGM. Of course, if you're betting a lot of plus EV stuff, make sure you throw in like a money line parlay, some favorites or whatnot to keep that account clean. But I'm about to log in quickly and get that down. So give me 12 seconds. Elijah Boston, Sparks Fever. Maybe I'm wrong with my EV calcs on WNBA. I've actually not going to trip over small sample sizes, of course. But with that being said, I had a great start with my EV calcs on the WNBA. Like literally, it was like couldn't miss a bet if I tried. And of course, that's just good variance. I'm not near saying I'm the best, but then lately, it's been I hit a little bit of a down variance swing, which again could just be regular variance, could be my EV calcs. I'm not dying on these hills just yet for WNBA, but worth noting there. Aja Wilson, 6.8%. Okay, this is much bigger. I'm betting this as well. I'll go back to DK. As you can see, maybe a little parlay right here, +428 with 2 plus EV legs. But Aja Wilson, +3 to 135. I shouldn't have logged out. I should just stay logged in if I'm going to be gambling. I'm betting that. Market average is +108. I'm in. I'll show you again here. Sorry. Market average +108. Let me get in here, relog in. And I'm sticking with the, I'm showing now to win $50 just for ease of sake. Of course, if you are a Kelly bettor, you can set up your Kelly. If you are, a higher unit bettor, of course, up to you. This is just for example's sake. So just to point that out there, but this is a good one, man. 6.8%. If DK sharper on WNBA and I'm just off base entirely, I'll hold the L. I'll continue to learn. I'll continue to get myself going here. But 2 WNBAs to start, some MLB to start, some CFL to start. We're gambling, boys. We're cooking. And I will definitely be keeping track of all of these now that I've been keeping track of my own EV calcs because I want to, of course, get after it. But I'm honestly parlaying those as well. Little EV parlay +428. Boom. All right. I'm betted. I'm in, family. This is live, so probably gone. Live's probably gone. This is okay. 1.8% on B365. This is a alternate under on the first 5. +170 at Penny with 3,700 limits. Market average +170. Maybe worth a look there. So that's all we got for the current, but we can always press this play button and get back to it. Some of the games that I bet pregame are going live, so we'll play around in those for a little bit as well. Okay. Fanatics. So they scored 3. They got out of that inning. It looks like Jake Myers 2.8% under. That game starts shortly. And also a good thing to note too is if you can like keep track of course, PTO has, as you saw, the live odds for all the books you want to see and the amazing graphs to showcase them, so you can see how they've been moving. But if you do like want to keep notes of some numbers and see how they move as the game progresses, that can certainly help you out. We knew Tigers were 3-0. And Blue Jays, they got out of that. This goes in 4 minutes. Christopher Sanchez, Hunter Brown. I'm sweating the first 5 over 4 or 3.5, so 4+. Plus 114. The value is no longer there, unfortunately. So we'll see if we can get in live there when that game has first pitch. But I want to pull up CFL and see how my Edmonton Elks bet is doing. And the best part is, right, like I know everyone loves talking sports, and everybody these days are, sports creators and, talk ball and know ball, all in good fun. I love talking ball. I love knowing ball. It's a crucial component to being a man. Not actually, but always fun. That being said, I cannot name a single player on any of these CFL teams. And the best part is you don't have to. You just have to have good EV calcs. First half total points. I want team total. Team points. There we go. First half. I have over 9.5 -105. Market average -123. So this one at Betway at -110 is still showing some decent value. I got it at ESPN at -105. It's at -115 as we speak. -121 over there, -137. So we can take a look at the movement chart here as well. This is over 9.5. Let's look at Penny. Was as low as like -118-ish. Now seeing -120. Did see it get up to like -130, so a little bit of buyback. I'm not really sure entirely how sharp CFL is. I'd have to assume relatively decently, right? Only so many sports going on all summer long. Canadian football obviously is not as popular as the NFL, but I'm sure it has a niche market. I would assume it's nowhere near as sharp as the NFL, as we see with $500 limits at Penny. So I'm not even going to say I assume it's not as officially the NFL. I could say I know for a fact it's not, but still a worthwhile exercise. I know the season is relatively new and kicking off, but that was my first CFL EV play found on PTO, and I rode, so we're riding. We got 1 minute here. 2 games in 1 minute. Shane Baz, Michael Lorenzen. So I'm a Rays backer this year. I was big on the Rays to win the East, to make the playoffs, to go over their win total, and even to make the World Series. I have them to win the American League at a couple different prices. I have them Dodgers, Rays exacta. That was like 79-1 preseason. I didn't bet the exacta. I just parlayed them together. Dodgers to win the NL, Rays to win the AL. So I'm a massive Rays fan just by default this year. So I'm hoping they get to Lorenzen and pull off. I actually bet the Royals last night, thinking it would be like a comeback down to earth game. But the Rays keep it rolling, and that's what I love to see. Before we look at that game in first pitch, we'll show you how quickly that updates and whatnot. Let's see if we can find a quick another $300 for the boys, like that ARB we had earlier. If you had access to those books, I would hope that you guys could. Unfortunately, I didn't even, but they were books that, again, I know are widely available. Have some live, a 61%, man. Again, I would assume this doesn't stay around for too long. A 68.7% live ARB. Crazy. 3x, so you can click this and it'll pull up in all 3 browsers, or in 3 windows, I should say. Hard Rock Novig, 3.9%. I'm pausing here again for content's sake. Bet Rivers, total hits, 8%. Again, let's do 1,000 just for simplicity's sake. $336. You have probably not much time because this game is definitely first pitching, but I'll Hopefully you guys can get to your Rivers accounts and your Hard Rocks. If you're not using PTO's paid version, you wouldn't see this because you're capped at 2% on the free trial. But hopefully you guys have time, because in my case, if I had access to both, I just click this button. As you saw, they both pop up. I bet, I profit. So hopefully you guys have access to these two books. Hopefully this didn't move with first pitch starting, and hopefully you guys cash out another free $136 if you have the $1,700 necessary to orbit at this higher rate. But even if you have $50, told $85, free $684. You know, inflation's been tough, man. Anything to pick up a couple of free bucks, 8% for just clicking 4 buttons. It's absolutely amazing. Similar situation here. This probably is going to be gone with the game first pitching, so maybe we'll find something that here. This is what we had earlier, right? Yep, this is still available. Again, if you have the bankroll, the $1,500, you get a free $106 here if you go to B365 and DK, and you probably have like 4 minutes barring any movement, which at this close to game time, unless one of these books are feeling like terrible about their line, which I don't think they would be. There's some really good arb there. And again, I would recommend betting like another money line parlay, maybe like a home run parlay, just to keep those accounts clean. So maybe you bet $5 on both. So instead of $106, you're winning like 98. And I think everybody can take a free $98 and not complain no matter what your situation is. I hate to assume, but you know, feels a little free $100. Another in Profit X. They only have $99 of liquidity here, which is you know, the best you can make is 5s. Again, free $5. But let's go back to the screen now that these games have started. I'm only rocking for another like 20 or so. Tough scheduling, but I'm streaming again tomorrow, and I'm streaming again with Pick the Odds on Sunday. So if in that time, I highly recommend, even with the free version, go to picktheodds.app, sign up for an account, and play with your own EV feeds and filters, because you're not going to be seeing the same things I'm seeing unless you're copying mine directly, which I'm not going to say I don't think you should, because I am still openly, you know, trying to get new information and make my EV calcs the best possible. But that being said, they are tracking well, and I think it's I'm onto something. I'm not saying that I am. We got a little bit of delay here. I mean, that makes sense. Let's see what ESPN's saying. Just normal baseball delay. You know, first pitch. Baseball's only the best. Oh, we got an out already, so these games are rocking. Live data will be up in a second with PTO. I'm not concerned about that at all. Oh, because this is why. Anytime you think that it's like the tool, no, it's because I am on pause. When you pause, you're pausing the entire site. And again, this is a good thing for, you know, speed. If you want to, if you're okay with being a little bit slow, maybe missing on some things live, but you want to make sure you're getting in things correctly, you can keep it paused and then eventually play it like I've been doing here. But of course, if you're looking for the best things at all times, you push that play button, and then just like that, everything's going to be going back to the live like it is, because these are live and these are moving. So give it a couple seconds to populate some of these scores, but the Tigers are not letting up here. Run around second. Who got on? We have a Wensil Perez strikeout, then a McKinstry double, Javi Baez 1-0 counts. Okay, again, I don't have anything here. If you guys want me to stick around here, this icon right here is telling you that this game is not being, now it's live to when it red, but that was when it is gray, it's showing you that it's like in between innings. Obviously gives you a little bit more time to get some stuff in. Maybe the books are moving a little bit less volatile there. A lot of totals. Is there anything worth betting? NeoBet. Only one hanging it that low. Over 6, Penny best price, and now DK best price. Again, I didn't have like a strong EV calc pregame to like want to get in live or like know a price in this one I wanted to get in live at. So I'm not going to probably fire there. These games have started, so maybe there is. Oh, no. As we expect, PTO on it. Strikeout there. I'm looking at ESPN right now. I want to see right now. So we know there's an out. ESPN I'm staring at. I wish I had a timer going, but it still says 1 out. Still showing 1. I'm waiting for ESPN just to show you the difference. I've already spoken 50 plus words in this instance before ESPN, and it still has not even updated to show the second out, and PTO is already there. It's still showing a 3-2 full count to Schwarber. As we know with PTO, Schwarber clearly is out. boom, just like that, ESPN finally told me that he got out. That was at least 45 seconds difference between PTO and a tool like ESPN, which is obviously very popular. So if that speed doesn't impress you, I don't know what else possibly could. Let's check Breeze Royals. This pitch, I don't know what the weather's like. Oh, we're live here. 2 outs for Tampa. This feed over there that with all the play-by-play will pop up, I'm sure, eventually. But for right now, we'll have to let's go to good old ESPN out of curiosity. And this is, again, not really a EV thing. It's just more me loving baseball and wanting to see what happens. So Yandy liking strikeout, and then Lau strikeout swinging with Caminero up in a 1-2 count. ESPN is telling me it's a 1-1 count. And right here, we already see a 1-2 count. So more than a pitch ahead. But let's go back to the EV. Let's go back to the EV because this is where we are spending most of our time. We'll go and find another ARB sesh as well. If you had EV team total, some value, only 1%. 1.6 here on an over first 5, minus 150 between Birdsong and Junk in San Fran. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh, I'll pause. Probably not going to get them live on certain things. See what we got here. 1.6. Minus 174 at Penny, minus 181 market average. This is like probably worth betting as well. If you have an ESPN account, we can scroll through. Score bet also at minus 150. So if you're a score better, you go there. Kevin Arrow got out, unfortunately. What do you do? Check out looking. Michael Lorenzen, 3 Ks in the first. Let's see what his pitcher prop was. That's now. Again, talking game lines, talking totals. Yes, we talked a little bit of props here on some fades potentially, but like let's talk about some live props because obviously, I guess nothing's obvious, but hell yeah, PTO has the live props going. Let's see. See what Lorenzen has gone to. He has 3. If ESPN is really hanging this 3.5, I mean, I can click it and see. This link will bring me to ESPN. I'll get something wrong with that into the best. So this is an ESPN thing. Even with like some other tools, there's always like not. Yeah, I was gonna say he's up to 6.5, which makes sense. Obviously with it live being a little bit slower, but I was gonna say even if it was 3.5 at those odds that they were showing, when he has 3 Ks in the first inning, I'd die on that hill. This is a little slow to move here. Looking at Baz. That's why, because that's again user error. Lorenzen, yeah, it's 6.5 now. Honestly, maybe a fade because this is probably there's no way it was that high pregame. Let's see. That's how it was moving. I mean, yeah, that was plus 7, almost 700 plus 650. Opened at one point it was at almost 700. And now he has 3 Ks. So again, if you are thinking that might be a little bit of a fluke right there, maybe you can find this 130 at ESPN. I mean, market average wise, it's not the best, but this could be like a case of like a ball knowing versus feel. Of course, you only 15 pitches for Lorenzen in that inning, 9 strikes, 15 pitches, aka like no foul balls. Like they were getting after the Rays lineup there, but shooting to see if Shane Baz can do anything. Tigers are threatening once again. Not good for my fantasy team. I'm in a must-win game, and I have Jeffrey Springs bum ass going today. Some movement there. Pause. System play button going. We had a strikeout, a double, a single, a walk. But I'm seeing an out. I'm assuming a force out probably. If we got a second out and nobody moved. Let's see what ESPN's telling me. Play-by-play. Yeah, Rogers walk. Strikeout, double, infield single. Oh, caught stealing third. Copy. Okay, there we go. So he was caught stealing third, but Hadi got the second. Then they walked. Now it's a 1-2 count. Checks out. This all checks out. Might as well see what happens here. 1-2. We have Parker Meadows going. Springs at 72 pitches already, man. That's tough for the A's. Could be a situation you just kind of get in on Detroit and go from there. Though probably easier said than done, as they're already a minus 1K this early in the game. 2-2. So we got a little bit of a fight from Mr. Meadows. High leverage already in the third inning. Never love to see that. Check the fantasy score just because I am a fantasy baseball fiend. And he has a flat 0 in my scoring, and I'm down 40 in a must-win game. And that's the name of the game, right? It's all in the game. Still 2-2. Taking through time, Jeffrey Springs, maybe some pickoffs there. Very curious to see what happens here. That was a big move already. Kalshi, best number. Got him out. Don't know how. Hopefully a strikeout for my fantasy point purposes. But that is that. Let's keep rolling. Let's go back to Rays. Royals run around second. 2-1 count. 1 out there. And let's go to the game I care most about for my bets and that you guys got in, but not looking so hot right now. So we have, of course, a lot of time. But first inning with Hunter Brown, only 12 pitches. Strikeout swing, ground out. Here we had a Jeremy Pena ground out, a Paredes fly line out to left field, and now we have Altuve in a 1-2 hole against Christopher Sanchez. Let's see if that first 5 team total. Now, this is something that, again, if you didn't get in with me pregame, totally understand, but maybe there's a double down spot. So I have over 3.5 plus 114. That's up to 142. If you have a Rivers at 155, that looks like a good price. Or if you have Unibet, of course, that's the best. But not the best first inning there. And Altuve strikes out swinging from Sanchez. So let's see how this materializes. I want to close this for a sec. All right, well, right now my ticket not looking so hot, but that's why they play the game. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. One second, fam. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. Let's keep riding. Let's go back to the EV. Let's hopefully find a couple more. Only going until 2:30 today, fam. The stream one I made on stream, the first stream, and this is, again, just like anything in life, like when you continue to learn or whatever. I haven't even looked at this because it was dog water, but then I had the time, watched the videos, learn some more fair EV calcs, I guess still put it. And here I am with this test that I absolutely love, and hopefully will make us all some money here. Under 4.5, 5.8% at Rivers. If you have Rivers, this is a good bet. If you have Unibet, it's a better bet. Running around second, but depending how you felt about these teams pregame, that could be a good spot. And like an example, yesterday in the Skeens Miz pitcher duel of the year. I don't know if you guys got to tune in. I know Skeens, you look at the box score, you see that he got, roughed up. I think they should have put him out for their inning, in my opinion, because the inning after he got roughed up, he mowed down the Brewers, didn't have a chance. But long story short, pregame, I loved it under 3.5 because square, but also because Miz and Skeens are that guy, but I didn't bet it. And then I saw on the live EV a opportunity to get in on the first 5 under 5.5 when there were 4 runs scored, and it was plus money, and there was not a single run scored. That was a free cash. But just a quick anecdote on PTO and how it helped me cash a great bet yesterday. And hopefully we can cash a bunch of other great bets today that we have locked in, which were 2 WNBA plays. We have Elijah Boston again, 5+ assists, plus 25. Aja Wilson, 4+ assists, plus 135. Shout to PTO. We'll see if they're still here. If they're still here, it makes me I don't want to say nervous. But yeah, it's still here, 3.8%. I like when things move quickly. Of course, that is bad for the account because it notices. But if things are moving, this is plus 125. Yeah, if things are moving right around when you're betting it, then that means you definitely are probably on the right side here. 5.1 at MGM, plus 130 to Penny and to FanDuel. Plus 111 is the best price in market. I'm going to click this and pull it up. And yes, I'm limited at MGM. Listen, that's from my EV calcs, it's a 5.1er. You can also click this link address, of course, goes directly to the sportsbook as you saw. And that's how easy it is to get in on some of these things, man. So Kelsey Mitchell, I'll track that. I will track that. Plus 130, we're in. And with PTO's tracker, so they're still, whoops, didn't need to click that. It's still in beta. I'll pull it up for you just to see. And also while I'm here, I'll show you some other things. I don't know what books have boost right now, but yeah, we could track, but it's still I'll show you what it looks like for now. We'll track that there. It's still in beta, but I'll show you these other things while we're here. So this is a boost. If you ever have a live boost, you can turn the boost on, tell it what it is, 20% boost say, and the calculations will go in for you. Another amazing feature. This is to show all the sports books, and this is to copy it. You can share this and send to your friends, and it'll show you the exact EV. But definitely a sick feature. But now that I tracked that, let's look at the bet tracking beta. I haven't been utilizing it yet. It's still coming soon. It shows that I have this bet taken, so it's going to. I'm sure these things will eventually populate. But listen, having this kind of advanced bet tracking for yourself, of course, I'm sure people have the Pickets of the world, juice reels, action networks, spreadsheets, notes app, whatever gets you going. But the fact that this is all going to be in one interface is going to be absolutely sick. So I'm also going to track them all now that I haven't messed around with it enough because I knew it was in beta. And of course, I don't want to judge anything based on a beta. But with that being said, it's available. So in that instance, might as well utilize the feature. Then, of course, it's only going to get better, which is the best part about all things PTO. They're literally adding updates. At this point, it seems like it's weekly. Excuse me, daily. It's absolutely weekly. It's very close to weekly. So we bet this and we track this. Wrong button. I'm going to see. All right, I'm going to pause just for, again, content's sake. So now when you track, you can block the bet, which is just showing you, I think, that you bet it already. So I'm going to just rebet it and block it this time, just so it doesn't show up, just for ease of remembering purposes. And we're going to do it again here. Over, also block, track, then a quick refresh. And what else did I bet? It was Boston, and there was Wilson right here. So I'm going to just block these out, and I'll show you after. But I'll be streaming again on Sunday with PTO. So that'll be, I guess, the recap day. Everything that I post that I bet here. I should have bet the numbers even that I took earlier, but they're no longer available. So as any tracker, that's not helping anybody. I'll also start tracking the plays that I even can't bet, but I can at least recommend to you guys on here, just to keep that continuity going and that transparency, of course. But again, anything that's losing, say we lose all 10 bets that I track, number one, could just be a variance swing and is not a big enough sample size to dictate if you're profitable, if your process is profitable. And two, these are my EV calcs, not pick the odds EV calcs, aka you can blame me all you want. Don't blame PTO. What you should do then is go to picktheodds.app, download it, make an account for free, and then make your own EV calcs and tell me how dumb I am, and give me some game. Give me some good EV calcs. I'm all for it. An over right here. Houston first 5 ML, already bottom 2. So Philly didn't do crap against Hunter Brown in that second frame either. That was a quick one. Let's see if we can get a quick ARB in. Got only a couple minutes left here. I'm going to go through the ARB, and I also want to mention, if you're looking for comparable tools to pick the odds, or just tools with different features, on betsmart.co, that's my website, we have reviews of over 30 different sports betting tools. We also have a quiz that if you fill out, we send you personalized recommendations based on your tools or your features you're looking for, as well as your budget and your skill level. We also have a newsletter. It goes out every single Friday, breaking down a betting topic for you guys in 180 seconds or less. Quick read, hopefully to help you guys with your sports betting game. We have comparison articles, comparing tools. We have educational content, a whole course predicated on education to help you guys become better sports bettors. So betsmart.co. Please check out the site, as well as DM me on Twitter at BetSmart, at GoBetSmart, whatever. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, tool related, sports betting related, ball knowing related. I'm always open for questions from the fam. All right, so let's see if we have a bigger one. Can't really control how big the arbs are going to be, but a free 1564 if you have, again, if you have $1,200 laying around, if you have Bet365 and Fanatics, that's a free 69.77. Here, this is live. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to lock that in. Again, if you want that plus 130 on over 173.5 at Bet365 and the minus 115 odds at Fanatics, if you could bet 1,000 on Bet365 and 12/30/23, you guarantee yourself 69.77 on this ARB for WNBA. On the WNBA total. So this is probably moving quickly. I hope it's not. I hope you guys are getting in. Another one with no vig. Liquidity is only $46, unfortunately. All right, so hopefully you guys got in there's three ARBs available for you guys that could have, depending on your bankroll, total anywhere from $15 to $300. So I really hope you guys got in and see the value. Again, if you're using the free version on your own, you only see up to 2%, but you can consistently get those down, and you can literally, the price for PTO is like $130 a month. If you have the bankroll or are aspiring to have the bankroll to justify the spend, I literally just showed you how to do it in 1 second, and that in itself would have paid for the tool this month and the next month. By the time you go to bed tonight, you would wake up with your subscription fee paid for 2 months, and then the rest of the 30 days of said month to make profit. So absolutely crazy. Like, this tool's so good, man. One more EV run through, one more odd screen run through, and then I got to hop. I'm sorry, family. That Michael Bush is live now, so hopefully he goes under. I'm obviously not going to track that at this point. I just saw a total under 8, only 0.8%, but I got to pause. The moving is a little annoying, only from a content perspective, but that's why they have a pause button. Let's see the market average here. I might actually fire on this quickly. Plus 103. Oh, we're okay. Under minus 116, minus 105, market average 118. Let's pull up Caesars quick. It moved. It moved. All in the game. We were paused. All in the game. It moved. No big deal there, of course. Last run through. Under 7.5 here, 365.9%. Probably worth it. Again, EV, you couldn't be betting like everything, but you should be betting everything and capitalizing on all these, because all these compound eventually. If you had 54.8% all day long, that of course would compound very quickly. But like the 1.4s, 1.3s of the world, the 0.9s, those add up, and that's expected value betting for you. One last look at the game here. Have some WNBA that we took. This is not looking so hot for your boy. Blue Jays threatening. Tigers. Springs is still going. I need those fantasy points, brother. Keep cranking. This is top 2 now. Let's see if Michael Bush even got up yet. Let's get the play button going as well. Not even on the board for under 5.5, 1.5, excuse me. Let's see where he's up in this lineup. He has not batted yet, but he's slated to bat. Actually batting as we speak. So hopefully Bush gets out there. And yeah, fam. So quickly back to the bet tracking. It's beta. So these are the 3 things that I tracked once we got into tracking. With that being said, I will be going over what we bet on Sunday on stream. So find me Sunday. I'll probably stream around 12:31. I got to look at the MLB slate, but another similar timing here. We'll keep notes of all these. We'll keep tracking everything that I play, just so once this does go live, we have the whole scope. But the fact that we're tracking anyway on here is going to be absolutely amazing. So picktheodds.app for a free trial with every single piece of functionality available to you. Just a cap of 2% EV and ARB. Again, I showed you right now how you could have made back your subscription fee for the whole full shebang in one sitting. So I hope you guys consider utilizing Pick the Odds. It's absolutely amazing. Even during the dog days of summer, this is the best way to get you going. Totally customizable. Again, betsmart.co, all your sports betting tool needs, all your educational sports betting needs, anything sports betting tool related, we are the authority. So check us out there. Shout out to PTO. They're the absolute best. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a stream, and then Sunday for a PTO stream again. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.